Hi, welcome to Julius Bar. Today we're gonna mix a Between the Sheets threesome. So the Between the Sheets might sound to you like a fun cocktail from the 80s, but it actually has a long history. And that's why we ended up with 3 versions of this cocktail. The Between the Sheets mix 3 base liqueurs with just a dash of lemon. I spent like a couple of weeks working between the sheets to come up with the recipe I'm gonna propose to you. Sometime I was just so tired of between the sheets. That I was like, can I get like a flip cocktail like the tiramisu I made? I need some more energy, I need some variation. So to change things up a bit, while I will never have again a sex on the beach, I was like, okay, pornstar martini will totally be the ticket, but I didn't have any passion fruit, so all I ended up was with a dirty banana, and that was it. So let's start mixing this cocktail. 3 versions, as I said. Let's start from number 1, which is actually the least common in my book, and also the one I had the hardest time coming up with the good combination of liqueurs to mix. So I'm gonna build reasonably sized cocktail, not small, kind of on the big side, but that's how I like them. And I'm gonna start with slightly more lemon juice than other recipes suggest online. I'm gonna start with 10 milliliters of lemon juice, which I just freshly squeezed. And then we go on with some dry curaçao, which is gonna be the only constant with the lemon juice. I'm using dry curaçao from Pierre Ferrand, and I'm gonna use 30 milliliters of this. And then we go on with equal parts of the other alcoholic ingredients in this cocktail. And while online they will tell you to use light rum and London dry gin, to me that combination will just taste like a not really good white lady. So it's not my thing. So I tried hard to come up with a combination of flavor I would like. And so I'm gonna use this Normindia Indian inspired gin from France as my gin. This is gonna have a nice spice and a nice orange background flavor, which we are gonna complement with an El Dorado Demerara rum. This is the farthest I get from the original recipe. They said light rum. I went completely the opposite way because I tried with the light rum, like the Havana Club Free. Then I tried the Diplomatico Planas, which is a clear but more complex. Then I tried something else, and in the end I landed on this, and it's the one that tastes better in my book. Might not be as originally intended, but as I said, as originally intended, this drink didn't quite tickle my fantasy. It was really bland. So without further ado, let's get some ice. And let's give this bad boy a shake. Let's double strain in our chill cocktail glass. Let's express some lemon peel. And we are done. So there you go, Between the Sheets number 1 with gin and rum. Specify like this, I like it because the Demerara rum gives those caramel notes, those deep flavors that otherwise this drink is sorely lacking, and they match perfectly with the orange background flavor and spices provided by the Normindia. Again, in my opinion, the choice of your base spirit is critical in this cocktail. So let's go on to second base. So as for the first version, we start with 10 ml of lemon juice. Then we go on with 30 ml of dry curaçao. And the 2 additional spirits in this cocktail are gonna be gin and brandy. So I decided to take this cocktail in a floral direction. in this case. And I'm gonna use the Rémy Martin, which to me has more white fruits and is more delicate than the Hennessy as a standard cognac. And I'm gonna complement that with this Hokkaido Shakotan gin Bouquet version. This is really floral, smells amazing, also fruity. I guess it shares the white peaches in common with Rémy Martin. And again, I paid a lot of attention to choosing the exact spirits, but now let's give these a shake with ice. Let's double straight in our chilled cocktail glass. Lemon peel expression. And there you go, between the sheets number 2. Cheers. This is nice. Strays more toward the gin sour, but drier. We don't have any other sugar in the form of a simple syrup. But as I said, I kept this more floral, more delicate. And I will tell you more about the comparison of flavor after we mix the third version of the cocktail. Let's get down to mixing between the sheets number 3. So again, lemon juice, 10 milliliter, 30 of dry curaçao, and this bottle is almost gone. And this time we're gonna have brandy in the form of Hennessy VS. I chose this because it has more of a burnt aged wood flavor, a bit more orange than the Rémy Martin. And I'm gonna conclude with some rum. I'm gonna use this Plantation rum from Barbados. So this is a several years in bourbon cask. Then I think at some point it passed 6 months in Amburana cask, which is a Brazilian wood, and then it finished in the whole continent Europe. 1 year in Ferran cask, Pierre Ferran, like producer of cognac. So this is in the end a cognac finished rum from Barbados, which is such a crowd pleaser. It's really good. He has a bit of added sugar in the form of 10 grams per liter, so it's not super hardcore. Yeah, it's pretty easy, but yes, that wood, charred and orange flavor characters, which I think will match perfectly with the Hennessy. So let's get some ice and let's give this bad boy a shake. Let's strain in our chilled cocktail glass. Let's express some lemon peel. And there you go, Between the Sheets number 3, which actually is the most popular version of a Between the Sheets nowadays. But before we taste it, let's bring in all the other Between the Sheets. Let's start tasting from this latest, the number 3, brandy and rum combination. Cheers. No, this is really good. This Plantation rum is just excellent. Yes, the right amount of sugar to be kinda easy, but it's not bland. It has those flavors that you find also in the Hennessy, and they are really nice. They complement each other, and you get this woody, dark char note with oranges on top of it, which is really nice. Actually, while experimenting between the sheets, I proposed my wife a different version of this tasty beverage featuring the Rémy Martin instead of the Hennessy, and she noticed right away. She said it's not as good as the other version. So I really think matching the spirits in this version, it's extremely important. It's a bit hard you have to pay attention. You cannot just go ahead and mix it between the sheets willy-nilly. You need to do some research. Just pick and choose the spirits you have in your house, in your bar, and choose the ones that match each other's better. But now let's try again the number 2. Number 2 is more light and floral. It's a nice cocktail too. And then let's finish with number 1, the Normindia and Demerara rum one. Also nice. I can taste the Normindia spices coming up at the end. Definitely tastes better with the Demerara rum, which brings some sweetness and some cocoa brown sugar to the whole thing. To me, like this with a stronger flavor rum, tastes better. With just a light rum and a London dry gin, it's a completely different drink that doesn't quite satisfy me between the sheets. It kind of goes soft on you, and you never want to go soft between the sheets. Hard is better, believe me. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, comment down below, share with me whether you like or don't like with your several partners, or just one or none, whatever you prefer. Shake yourself a nice between the sheets, many versions to choose from, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheers. Now the only problem is how I'm gonna finish all this between the sheets. By the way, I don't know what second base means. I just know it means something that teenagers do. I dabble in American culture, but I'm not fully honed into it yet.